What is up, my friends? Okay, so I wanted to share with you a really cool process that I walked one of my daughters through, and I feel like it will help you. So guess what? I'm sharing it because I am so freaking awesome like that. And I'm putting my lime oil on first because it helps my brain to think of things. What's up, Shelly? Okay, I always gotta like prep the mind and the body when I do my oils because it helps me, teach you guys better. So I just got back from a 4-day intensive workshop where we dug into these beliefs that we have about money and time and space and abundance and body and everything that you can imagine. And we learned these processes because the thing is if you don't know how to handle your emotional crap and your emotional garbage that comes up, you could have all the goals in the world, but if your belief does not match the goal, guess what? You don't get it. Period. It's not like that, well, this time you can have your goal because you're a nice person. No. If on one hand you believe that money is evil and wrong and that rich people are like scum and you want to make more money, guess what? You will not, because you don't want to be a scuzz bucket. Oh my gosh. Did that blow your ever-living mind? Because a lot of times we look at other people and guess what we do? We judge them, don't we? We're like, oh my gosh, like who needs a Ferrari? Like there are starving people in Africa. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. Our judgment on other people creates us not getting our goals because we don't want to be judged like we're judging them. So here's how you get over this. There's so much I want to teach you guys. It's so good. It's so good. All right. So I'm talking to my oldest and we are talking about homework. How many of you guys have teens who are just so overwhelmed with homework that they're like, I can't do it. There's too much. And there's this and there's this and there's this and I just can't. And they freak out. Okay, I'm going to turn off commenting just for a little bit so I can go through this. So here's what I did with her. As we were driving home, have her take a deep breath in, or him. Deep breath in, breathe it out, and ground. Now, I might not have gotten all the steps that I learned from the Chris Crone event, which if you have not gone to that, you're coming with me in April because I want like all my homies there. So you take a deep breath and you ground. You center into your body, right? So center into her body because when you're like worrying and stuff and you're freaking out, you are not here. You're in the future. So typically what happens is when we're depressed, we're thinking about the past. And when we're worried, we're thinking about the future. Think about that. So deep breath and ground. And so we talked about, so what's this belief that you have about school? And she's just like, it's just too hard. And she started like talking about it a little bit. And so what it came down to was that I just don't have help. I don't know how to ask for help. Okay, I wrote it down. I can't ask for help. Why? And then I had her close her eyes. Deep breath in. When is the first memory that you had of not being able to ask for help or of feeling stupid? Because that's really what it came down to, was feeling stupid. I don't want to feel stupid. Okay, so she goes back and she has a memory. Pops up. Her dad sitting at the table. And this brought up not one, not two, but 3 beliefs that she has that have been plaguing her. So she goes to this memory where she's little and she doesn't know her homework and she goes to dad. This is not anything against dads or moms or doing blame. This is just an idea, a memory, something she took, made it mean something it didn't. All right, so she goes, hey, Dad, can you help me with my homework? Well, he's stressed out about money. And he's like, no, sweetie, I can't. I've got to figure this out and I can't figure this out. And so I can't right now. Instantly, she made 3 decisions based on that. The first one was what? About money. Money is freaking scary. If my dad, who is the person that I look up to the most in my whole life, cannot figure out money, what does that say about me? Money is scary. So in her mind, she's always worried about money because she's like, oh my gosh. Even when we had our stuff handled, it didn't matter because that memory is what sunk in. The second thing that she did was, I can't ask for help or I'm stupid. So asking for help makes her stupid in her mind. So that's why it loads and loads and loads and loads and loads until she just explodes. And it's okay that I'm sharing this. I've already asked. Wait, did I? I'll have to ask after this. So that one is, I can't ask for help because it makes me look stupid. How does that work in life when you can't ask for help on things you don't know? Do you know everything? No, you do not. Do you need help in life? Yes, you do. So we talked about that one. And the last one was, I'm not even worth helping. Now, I'm a really good digger, meaning I know the right questions to ask. So I can kind of help you with that if you need to. But you just kind of dig into this. So what's that about for you? What does that mean? What do you feel like that could really be? Right? So we get these 3 big beliefs up and they're just gnarly and she's crying and we're in the front seat of the car. We're parked at this point because, I don't want to like do it while I'm driving. So we do this. We go back into that memory. So I have her close her eyes again, right? Take a deep breath, get back in there, that feeling space, and see your little girl sitting there. She's just about to ask Dad, hey, can I have some help? And then she has that experience. And I said, who could you bring in that would comfort, affirm, and teach her what actually happened, and that she's, 1, worthy of love, that money is safe, and that you can ask for help and you're not stupid, and that you are brave for asking for help. And so she thought, she's like, can I bring my older self in? I'm like, yes, bring your older self in. So she brings her older self into this memory, and I just have her put your arm around your little girl. What does she need to hear from you right now? That you're loved. These are things that she would say. You are loved. You are worth helping. It's okay to ask for help. It's so brave to ask for help. You are worth helping. I can't wait to help you. I'm so proud of you for working on this so hard. All these things that she needed to hear as a little girl, but she brought in herself into that memory, giving her the exact things that she needed to hear, which will actually change the way you feel about that memory. So after that, she holds her little girl in her heart, like anchor in that feeling of love, peace, assurance, and like total acceptance, total love, right? And then when she opens up her mind, opens up her eyes again, it's this, okay, so now what's the opposite? What's the belief at your core? Like, what was the real thing underneath all that stuff? It's like, I'm not worthy of love. Because if helping is loving, then I don't deserve any of it. And if this is triggering you, do this work. Like, call me up and I will help you. But do this work, because you guys, if you're in your life and you are experiencing the same stuff over and over and over, it's because you're not clearing those beliefs from when you're little. There's so much that is brought into our now with what happened in the past. Regardless of what happened, it's what we make it mean to us. 2 people can have the same exact experience and make it mean different things. Correct? So then we get this beautiful belief. I am worthy of love. It's okay to ask for help. I'm brave for asking. I'm worthy of all the love and connection. Money is easy and for me. So then this is the uncomfortable part. And I said, I want you to yell it at the top of your lungs. Like, I want you to blow the roof off this car. And you all know that my daughter has like a booming voice and she can totally yell. But here's how she showed up at first, like, I'm worthy of love. I deserve good things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this like mousy little contained person, because she didn't believe it. So the power of repetition, when you speak something over and over and over and over and over, is your body will finally start to listen to you after enough repetition. So if you have to do it 50 to 100 times, you do it. Stand in the mirror and look at yourself. That'll make it even worse and more uncomfortable, but it will anchor in this feeling that you can do this. So go to the mirror, right? And have this experience where you look at yourself and say, I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of connection. I deserve good things. I have what it takes. And then this is our declaration time. This is where we're declaring and we're smashing the old. We're smashing that belief that doesn't serve us. Okay, so here's what I had her do, because she was being mousy with it and she wasn't like playing full out. Now you guys, I'll tell you at the end. So I had her close her eyes again because she's like, yeah, I kind of want to get rid of this belief. I'm like, really, kind of? Okay, 5 years from now, you keep this belief. It's not safe to ask for help. Money's hard. I'm not worth helping. Where are you in 5 years with that belief that you are not worthy of love? How do you show up in your relationships? How do you show up for other people? What jobs do you miss out on, or experiences or opportunities because you were too afraid of asking for help because you didn't feel worthy of love. And so she's like, oh gosh, like that sucks. I don't want to do that. And then I'm like, okay, are you ready now? Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah. No. You have to be so, I'm like, are you willing to do what it takes to let that go? Because we get identified by these beliefs and we're like, they're kind of our cozy suckness. We get used to feeling the suck and we don't want to move into something that's different because, well, we know how it feels here. We know the pain, the struggle, all that. What do you do when that's gone? And so this is what we're stepping into, is creating that image of the future. So we went 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road with this belief. So finally she was like, okay, I'll do it. But like, I feel like I got to stand up. So we went in the garage. This was a process. And then her sisters start looking because they're like, who is yelling in the garage? And she starts, and I have her engage her physiology. You got to move your body, you guys. You can't just be like, I am worthy of love. Blah, 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 blah. You have to engage your body. So I have her like hands up in the air, like, I am worthy of love, like screaming it, like ugly face screaming it, and just like as loud as she can. And she still has more left in her. So it's okay because we broke through so many barriers that day. And can you imagine if you did this every single day? So I'm doing this every single day. I am waking up, and me and my husband have this really, really cool routine now. Maybe I'll share that in another Facebook Live. But I wanted to share that with you. So if you have a teen who'd be like, I am not doing this stupid exercise with you, that's okay. Do it on yourself about your teen. If you have a belief that my kid won't even listen to me, I have to yell to get their attention, my kids, whatever the belief is, do this on yourself. And as you start to change, they will start to respond differently to you. I keep wanting to look at me, but I need to look at you. So that was my experience of it. And it was so cool because you could just see this brightness in her eyes. Like, oh my gosh. And just telling her, like, it doesn't matter how I have shown up in your life. I mean, yes, it would be so great if we had perfect parents who did the perfect things and told you all these great things all the time. I try, right? I fall short all the time. And so does dad, right? We want to be the best versions of ourselves with our kids. But honestly, we're getting there, right? We are working on becoming the best parents we can be. But we didn't know what we didn't know then. And that's what I want my kids to know, is understand that you have the power to bring back in what you need support-wise. So if you had parents who didn't show up for you, I mean, I had crazy childhood experiences with that. And as I'm working through this over and over and over and over and repetition, it starts to stick, and you start to feel that love of God. You start to feel that love for yourself. You start to feel all the things that you were not able to feel before because you believed it wasn't true. And also getting uncomfortable. Like, it's not very comfortable for some of us to shout full out. So while we were at this seminar, it was like hyper masculine. I'm talking like this room full of dudes, and everyone's just like, rah! And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so creepy. But I tapped into that other side of me that is that warrior and that person that will stand up and will say no to these beliefs and say, no, that is not true. And so when I came home, my girls were like, oh my gosh, you're so intense, which is so much fun. So I invite you to start looking into this. Their next thing is in April. So seriously, you all should come with me. It's freaking amazing. And can you see how this would be so helpful? Like, instead of just telling your kids like, oh my gosh, why can't you just figure this out? Well, dig a little bit, right? Like, we can help our kids. And of course I'm oiling her up and I'm anchoring, because so here's the secret, you guys. When you're having your essential oils, a lot of you use these. And if you're not, you need to be. So when you use an essential oil during a process change like this, remember, when you smell something, it hits the amygdala, which is that limbic seat of the brain. That is your emotional storehouse. So I'm smelling something. I am literally changing this connection I have to a belief and creating a new one. Do you get that? Like, do you get how incredible that is? We have so many tools. Essential oils is one of them. I use a lot of different things, but that is quick and easy and fast and tangible. I can hold it, I can see it, I can taste it, I can touch it, I can smell it. Our bodies require those anchors, and it's so much easier to do it when you've got a tool. So Do whatever you want to do, but like for me, that really, really works. And thanks for listening, and I hope that that helps you with your teen. And if not with your teen, then with yourself. Because, dude, how many of you have this junk going around in your head? How many of you run yourselves ragged because you're like, oh, no one's, if I don't do it, it won't get done right. Ooh, who has said that? No one wants to help me anyway. I'm kind of all alone in this. My spouse doesn't support me, blah, 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 blah. Is that working for you? And if it isn't, let's figure out some ways that you can break through, because it is incredible. So have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all later, and I will share as much as I can as I go.